Welcome back to the channel. My name is Orlando, and today we're going to be talking about, can you get into real estate with bad credit, especially when you have collections. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So what are collections? Well, collections are basically when you haven't made payments on your account and the credit card or the creditor basically says you are not making your payments, so we're going to put your account into collections, and then that collection agency will come after you for the remaining of the balance. And there's fees associated and everything with it, and they put this on your credit. And it's something that you really need to take care of, especially if you want to get into real estate, because most banks, once you start trying to invest, they're going to say, hey, look at this collection. Why haven't you made this payment? And we want you to make this payment, clear out this account before we move forward. So that's one thing that you really have to consider. But let's talk about some of the things that you can do. So one of the big questions I get all the time is, how long does a collection stay on your credit? And the answer to that is 7 years, guys. 7 years, a collection will stay on your credit history. This is the really big reason why we want to try to avoid getting your account into a collection, because it takes so long to get rid of. And we're going to talk about further in the video some ways and some tips that I can give you to try to avoid getting yourself into those troubles when it comes to collections. So another question is, how do you get rid of a collection? Well, here's some tips. Number one, you can ask the creditor, once you have paid the debt, to get a Goodwill deletion. Now, what is a Goodwill deletion? A Goodwill deletion is basically you have made the payment to the collection of what you owed, and you go to the company and you say, look, I was having a really hard time. This is the reason why I didn't make the payment, and can you please give me a Goodwill deletion, where basically they will say, okay, we understand your situation and we'll go ahead and delete that off of your credit. Number two, you can dispute the collection only if there is an error. If this is an error, you want to dispute it with one of the credit bureaus or all of the credit bureaus to get this deleted off of your credit report. Now, once again, I want to make sure this is clear. Only if there is an error on the collections, meaning you've made payments on time, meaning that your name is wrong, whatever the error is, that's where you want to dispute and say, this is wrong, blah, blah, blah. Is negotiate a pay for deletion. Now, what is this? You basically are negotiating with the collection agency saying, look, hey, if I make XYZ payment to you guys and my debt is settled with you guys will delete this off of my credit. Now, you sign into this agreement, you make the payment, you do what you need to do, and then it is the collection agency's responsibility to make sure that that gets off of your credit. Now, you have to make sure you follow up on these guys. These guys aren't on your side. You do have to take the responsibility to follow up to make sure that these guys do exactly what they said they were going to do in the agreement, and make sure that you have a copy and keep the agreement until it's deleted off of your credit. So as you see, collections are really a big thing when it comes to you getting into your first rental property. You want to make sure that you have all of your stuff tip-top shape, ready to go. If you need to do these things to get collections off of your credit report, then do these tips. But the number one tip is to try to make sure that you do everything that's in your ability to not get into this predicament to begin with and not get your stuff into collections. Remember, it's going to take a while before something goes into collections. You're going to have to do 30, 60, 90, 120 days before of not making payments and before a creditor basically puts it into collections. So don't let it get that far, guys. Don't let it get that far. So I hope you got value out of this. I'm going to need you to watch this next video. This next video here, it will continue to help you on getting into your first rental property. I'm going to get you into it. You said you want to get into your first rental property, and this is what this is. So watch this next video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.